Ice cream is loved around the world. It is a truly global treat. People eat it for many reasons. They eat it when they are happy. They eat it when they need comfort. For many, it brings back fond memories. Memories of childhood summers often include ice cream. Special occasions and celebrations often feature this dessert. This cold, sweet food holds a warm place in our hearts. Its delightful taste offers a simple, accessible pleasure. But you know, this simple pleasure has a complex and often hidden story behind it. Ice cream was not always produced this way. It began as a much simpler food. Small, local shops made it fresh each day. Families would sometimes make it at home. The ingredients were few and recognizable. Then the big factories arrived on the scene. The scale of ice cream production changed dramatically. Everything about it became different. Ice cream transformed into a mass-market commodity. It needed to travel long distances. It needed to have a very long shelf life in freezers. This industrial shift changed ice cream forever. The industry grew into a massive global business. Factory-made ice cream is very different from homemade. Traditional homemade ice cream uses few ingredients. These are usually milk, cream, sugar, perhaps eggs, and real fruit or vanilla. Factory ice cream often contains a much longer list of components. One of the key differences is the amount of air. Factories use machines to whip a large volume of air into the ice cream mix. This practice is called overrun in the industry. More air means less actual product in your carton. It makes the ice cream cheaper to produce. In essence, a portion of what you pay for is just air. The factory process is a highly controlled industrial operation. Milk and cream are first pasteurized at high temperatures. This crucial step kills any harmful bacteria. Next, the mixture is homogenized. This process breaks down fat globules, ensuring the texture is consistently smooth. Giant stainless steel vats and mixers combine all the ingredients. Powerful, continuous freezers then churn this mix very quickly. This rapid freezing creates small ice crystals, which is desirable for texture. The ice cream is then hardened at extremely low temperatures. It is stored this way to allow for shipping across the country or even worldwide. Artificial ingredients are extremely common in factory ice cream. You will find them listed on the labels of many popular brands. Why are these substances used so widely? They provide strong and, importantly, consistent flavors. Natural flavors derived from real fruit or vanilla beans can vary in intensity. They can also be significantly more expensive. Artificial flavors created in laboratories are much cheaper to produce. Scientists can design them to mimic almost any taste imaginable. This is a precise science, an alchemy of deception. Our taste buds, unfortunately, are often easily fooled by these chemical creations. Take a close look at the ingredient list on a typical tub. You might see terms like artificial vanilla flavor. This flavor does not come from actual vanilla beans. It is a chemical compound like vanillin made in a factory. Those bright, vibrant colors in strawberry or pistachio ice cream? They might well be artificial dyes, not from real fruit or nuts. These dyes, such as red number 40 or yellow number 5, make the product look more appealing. They are designed to suggest freshness or the presence of real fruit. Often, this is a carefully crafted illusion. These additions are for appearance and cost, not for nutrition or genuine quality. Large ice cream companies are driven to lower their costs. This is a fundamental rule in any large-scale food business. A primary way to do this is by finding cheaper ingredients. Real cream and fresh milk are relatively expensive dairy components. Some companies reduce the amount of actual dairy in their products. They might substitute some of it with less expensive vegetable oils like palm or coconut oil, or they might use milk powder solids and water. Corn syrup, especially high fructose corn syrup, is a very cheap sweetener. It often replaces some or all of the sugar. Fillers are also added to create bulk and texture, such as cellulose gum, which is derived from wood pulp. This relentless drive for cost-cutting inevitably affects the quality of the ice cream. Less real dairy content means a less rich and less creamy taste. The texture can change significantly. It might become gummy or strangely elastic, or conversely, it might feel coarse and unpleasantly icy. A host of stabilizers and emulsifiers are added to the mix. These chemicals, like polysorbate 80 or carrageenan, keep the mixture from separating. They help create a semblance of smoothness, even with less fat. The ice cream may look perfectly fine, but the genuine taste and mouthfeel of traditional ice cream are often diminished or entirely missing. It becomes a mere shadow of the real thing. dairy farmers find themselves under immense and constant pressure. The massive ice cream industry demands a continuous supply of cheap milk. Large corporate buyers wield enormous power in the marketplace. They can dictate prices, pushing them ever lower. As a result, many dairy farmers struggle to make a decent living. Some are forced to leave farming altogether. The relentless focus on low cost by manufacturers directly hurts these primary producers. Farmers are often compelled to increase herd sizes and milk yields. This can sometimes compromise animal welfare standards. It is a difficult and often unsustainable cycle for them. Workers in the ice cream processing plants also face their own set of challenges. The work on production lines can be highly repetitive and monotonous. It is often performed in cold, refrigerated environments for long shifts. Wages in these facilities may be low, particularly for unskilled or temporary labor. We should also consider the source of other key ingredients. Vanilla beans, cocoa, sugar, and tropical fruits often come from distant countries. Workers in those agricultural supply chains can face extremely poor conditions and very low pay. Their hard labor contributes to the cheap treats we enjoy. We rarely see or consider this hidden human side of the industry. Ice cream production generates a significant amount of waste. Think for a moment about all the packaging involved. Plastic tubs are now ubiquitous for family-sized containers. So are plastic-coated paper cartons, which can be difficult to recycle. Single-serve cups often come with small, disposable plastic spoons. All of this packaging material contributes to our growing landfill mountains. The modern ice cream industry relies heavily on convenience and disposability. This convenience, however, comes with a substantial environmental price tag. We consume the product quickly, but the plastic waste lingers for centuries. The industry also consumes a vast amount of energy. Refrigeration is absolutely essential at every single stage of the supply chain. It starts at the factory, continues in refrigerated transport trucks, and then in supermarket freezers. Finally, it ends in our home freezers. All these cooling systems consume huge quantities of electricity. Producing the primary ingredient, milk, is also very resource-intensive. Dairy cows require large areas of land for grazing and feed production. They consume significant amounts of water. Furthermore, cows produce methane, a potent greenhouse gas. The entire life cycle of ice cream, from farm to spoon, has a considerable environmental footprint. This sweet, innocent-seeming treat carries a surprisingly heavy impact. Learning these unsettling facts about the ice cream industry can be disheartening. It does not necessarily mean that all ice cream is inherently bad, nor does it mean that we must completely stop enjoying this popular dessert. The primary goal of understanding these issues is to cultivate awareness. Armed with knowledge, we can begin to make more informed choices as consumers. We can still find immense joy and satisfaction in a scoop of ice cream, but we can choose to consume it more wisely and thoughtfully. Understanding the complex system behind the product is always the crucial first step. This knowledge gives us power. We can start by making a habit of reading the ingredient labels carefully. Look for a short list of simple, recognizable ingredients. Real milk, cream, sugar, and natural flavorings are generally good signs. Try to avoid products that have a long list of chemical-sounding names. Be wary of phrases like artificial flavors or artificial colors. Check if the product contains high fructose corn syrup or various gums and fillers. As a general rule, the fewer unpronounceable ingredients, the better the product is likely to be. This simple check can tell you a great deal about what you are actually eating. Consider supporting businesses that are making an effort to do better. Small local creameries often use higher quality, locally sourced ingredients. They may have closer relationships with local dairy farms. Look for brands that carry ethical certifications on their packaging. Fair trade labels for ingredients like cocoa, coffee, or vanilla indicate better terms for producers. Organic options can also be a good choice, often implying stricter standards. Where you spend your money sends a powerful message. It supports ethical practices and can encourage positive changes across the wider industry. You might even consider making your own ice cream at home. It is often much easier than many people think, even without a special machine. When you make it yourself, you have complete control over all the ingredients. You can use fresh, seasonal, and local produce. It can also be a fun and rewarding activity for families. Alternatively, you can choose simpler frozen desserts that often have fewer additives. Sorbets made with real fruit and water can be very refreshing. Fruit bars made primarily from fruit puree are another good option. Making small conscious changes in our choices can collectively make a big difference. Enjoy your frozen treats, but do so consciously and responsibly. Like and subscribe for more dark secrets to be unveiled and discover the truth about mysteries of the world. Stay tuned for more.